Friday the 5th of July. Now everything seems quiet here. Let me scan around. Well, it's quiet now, but I can assure you that it wasn't quiet about 15 minutes ago. So I came up to look at my cattle to move them. I had them on, I suppose, it was a tight enough area. Now I made a mistake and I've learned from it. I had them on a tight enough area, and what happened was the fence was knocked and the cattle were gone everywhere. So they had full access to the whole farm when I came up here about a half an hour ago, if not 3/4. I've kind of stood back and observed for the last 5 or 10 minutes just to gather my thoughts. But luckily enough, they were outside of their little cell and they were thirsty. So I set up my drinker inside in this little paddock here. So I had that fence already up. Now hang on, I've got 2 sticks in my hand. I have a pigtailed corner post and I have my hazel stick. Right down, I stick one on the ground. So I had a fence up along here which kind of divides the whole farm in two. That is a temporary fence, but I leave it there kind of permanently. So I had to quickly put up a fence on the lower side here, and I could continue. I had a spool there, a reel that I could run across. So I called in the cattle, I moved the drinker, and lucky enough they all came running in out from 1 or 2 cows that once they saw they were by themselves, they came in no bother. So all is well that ends well. Well, the little lesson from all this is I had them on the far side of that hedge, and it was coming to a point like a triangle, a slice of pizza, widening out on the bottom and coming up to the drinker. Now if you're going to ever do a kind of a pizza pie shaped paddock, my suggestion would be never to leave the drinker at the point of it. Always leave it at the lower, wider side, even if it takes that little bit of extra work. So what I believe happened was the cattle came up for their drink, and don't you know, the messing started, the pucking and the pushing and the tearing around, and they tend to do that. I find when there's an electric fence around, they will shove their comrade into it, knock the fence, and then away they go. They're free to do what they want. So I don't know who to blame, but they all did it. They were all out, every single one of them. So yeah, that was the situation that I found myself in when I landed up here on this Friday afternoon, the 5th of July. Now what other news is there? Oh yeah, something I wanted to show here real quick. I've been feeding cattle out wintering on this land for the last 3 or 4 years. 4 years. And if we go back into focus again, I remember at one stage I had a bit of a bale left. Let me go up here. I left the bale in where that little pigtail is. Why is my phone doing that? I have news on phones now shortly as well. I left the bale there and I tipped it off. It was a bale of hay and it rolled, and I tried to stop it, and it was actually a funny thing, but it could have been dangerous. I couldn't get up. I was caught on the far side of the bale, and the bale rolled all the way down there. Now I gave them too much of it. I'd moved them before they had it all ate. I left them here a couple of days during the winter this time was, and the bale was left lying on the ground rotten. But if you actually look, you can see the lovely battery about to die. Hang on. You can see the lovely lush green grass that's growing exactly where that bale was left. So there's the line of the bale, and there's the green of the ordinary soil. So we know, we've heard all about this trampling of grass down to eat the tips and the trample effect, and I was at that, and then I was of the opinion that I could put the grass through the cow and that it would be better for the manure to come out the back of the cow. So I was kind of doing that as well, the take all system. But it's just funny to be able to see the evidence of what happens when you do trample. Now I know this is hay that was put down, but it holds true for the grass that we trampled in, because at the end of the day, grass is just dried, or hay is just dried grass. So you can see the lovely lush green grass that's coming up here now. Now obviously I don't recommend putting down that kind of stuff, but if you ever saw bales advertised, even rotten bales, to be given away, I would nearly say to take them and just to spread them out on your land like that, and maybe have an animal, if it was half middling, to pick through it with a little bit of grass and let it rot down into the ground like that, and you'll have lovely green grass. It'll be interesting to see how many rotations will it come back as green as that there. Now obviously there's still a lot of hay lying on the ground, but that will break down over the year. So you can see an exact line here. I like that. Yeah, so that is the situation today, Friday. I'll walk up again and have a little scan through the cattle and grab my corner post. So these cows, the hard part about it is I always have the advantage of when I open up the fence, the grass is always greener on the other side. But when they have the freedom of the whole farm, it's always a worry will they come in to a tightened spot to eat what they already have. But lucky enough they have manners and they do come in. So you can see they're already lying down. It's very rare I get to see them lying down because, as I say, they only come in and have their feed then, but they're already full, the little shits. So yeah, a little walk through. So here's my little red shorthorn that's rearing 2 calves. She's holding up very well. As I say, I am going to keep an eye on her, but she's holding up very well for a small little heifer. And her mother is there behind me. There's her mother. This is lead cow's daughter's calf. A nice heifer. In fact, that's the best heifer, or that's the best calf she's ever had. She has bad calves but good weanlings. So if that's a good calf, she should be a really nice weanling. Now, lead cow's daughter. I'm calling this lady here lead cow now because she's lead cow's daughter. So this is lead cow's daughter's daughter. And that's her calf there, a first calf heifer. A ruby Galloway bull calf. Now he is big and he's a little bit framey. But as I say, if she's like the mother, she'll have a bad calf, even though he's good and a better weanling. So I'm going to keep it tight behind that fella. I like him. He could turn into a lovely bullock. Yeah, what else is there? I have Red Clare's calf over here. The Shorthorn Galloway hybrid. Our first calf hybrid that's in reverse. Because we've had lots of Shorthorns out of Galloways, but we've had no Galloway out of a Shorthorn. And that's one of our best calves now as well. She has had 3 heifers in a row. This lady here. And her daughter. And her other daughter's at home, who's not the best heifer in the world. She's a bit traditional looking. She's a bit milky looking. She is a milky breed, that one. That red lady. But her daughter at home that's with the bullock is just that little bit framey, and she's just not the kind of animal I like. Leggy and light. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to seeing her grow. I'm looking forward to seeing all them Galloways grow. Right, well, enough of the Galloways. Let me just see. Davy's heifer's lying down full as you show. And there's her calf there, and then we have, that's the little black shorthorn's heifer, or the little black shorthorn heifer's calf there. That's another ruby calf. And Motherless May. Motherless May is never going to be big. Bjug was a small cow, and she had a rough start. And my 2 Rowans. That's it now. So I have no more to say. Now we have another week on and we're into July. The year is shoving on very quick. So on that note, we're up on 10 minutes. It's amazing how the time goes. I will close down now, and for now I will say good luck and goodbye.